Okay, we don't know who's gonna, they've got 2 minutes to get here. Whoever's coming.
Oh, whoever's coming. Oh, Gotcha.
Everybody having a good week? Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a short week because July the 4th kind of ruined the whole, let's have a nice calm weekend. No. Yeah. Okay. Well, minute and a half. I get so excited waiting for Shabbat to come. Shall we go ahead and start? Okay. Y'all are ready. Everybody's here. That's important. Everybody that's important is here. Okay, so we're going to have Tanya do a nigun to get us in the mood.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom. This evening, we are going to have the blessing of Lois lighting the Shabbat candles for us. So.
In the beginning, when the Spirit of God hovered over the darkness, God's first creation was light. As we kindle these Shabbat lights, we attest to the majesty of God's work and rejoice in its beauty. Light is a symbol of divinity and creative goodness. It is the outward sign of that inner spark, which God has granted each of us. In hope and with love, we now welcome Shabbat with light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu b'haner shel Shabbat.
On page 1, praised are you, Adonai, whose presence fills the world, who hallows us with mitzvot and inspires us to kindle Shabbat lights. Together, may God bless us with Shabbat joy. May God bless us with Shabbat holiness. May God bless us with Shabbat peace. Amen. Rabbi usually starts our Shabbat service after we come together with good and blessing. Has anybody had a good and blessing this week that could be something as small as great French fries? Tante.
My daughter, who's a geologist, is on her way to Puerto Rico and she has a stopover, so I get to see her for a couple of
Oh,
days.
that's wonderful.
Very, very happy.
Yes. Mhm.
Well, I'm leaving Wednesday to go pick up my granddaughter from John Hopkins. She got invited to John Hopkins for 10 days.
I hope you have a good trip. Yeah. Yes.
After 3 long weeks, I'm finally fully moved in, ready to get roses.
Mhm.
You got married.
Oh, wow.
Mazel tov. Okay. Yes.
Mazel tov.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Mazel tov.
okay. So we got great news. Okay. Yes. And are there any other good and blessings that we should celebrate today for Shabbat?
I mean, it's not a engagement or a marriage, but I made beignets for the first time this morning and they were amazing.
Yay. And nobody threw them out.
No.
Okay.
Thankfully.
That's excellent. Well, for our guests, let me say that when we are using this prayer book, we don't use it the regular way that you would open a book. We use it the opposite way. So if you've already begun to see how we start on the back side of the book, you're in good shape. Okay, now let us go to page 2. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and our deliverer. Come, let us enter God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is supreme, the sovereign over all beings. Page 3 together. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples faithfully.
Page 4, Or Zebra. Or Zavua, Latzadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zavua, Latzadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zavua, Latzadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Ulishrei Lev Simcha. Ulishrei Lev Simcha. La 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 la.
On page 5, it is you who established equity, you who works righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down toward God's footstool. God is holy. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down toward God's holy mountain. For Adonai our God is holy. Ascribe to Adonai, you children of God. Ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory of God's name. Worship Adonai in the beauty of holiness. May Adonai give strength to this people. May Adonai bless this people with peace. As we move into Lecha Dodi on page 7, I would like to ask Don and Richard to please open the doors when we get to Boi Vashalom.
Lecha dodi likra kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי נמכור חברך, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. בואי לשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוך עולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela. לך דודי לקרא כלה, ב'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. On page 8 together, a psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to give thanks to Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a harp, with voice and lyre in unison. The righteous bloom like a palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Page 9, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברי חיותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב במהרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, במהרו אמן.
Please rise if able. We're on page 10 for the Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
You didn't see that. Okay. All together on page 11. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv haravim b'chokhmah potech she'arim uvitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmarotehem barakia kirtzono barei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or umavir yom umevi laila umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravim. Together, praised are you, Adonai our God, whose presence fills the world, whose word makes evening fall. God opens the gates of heaven. In wisdom makes time pass and the seasons change. The stars in the skies move according to God's will. Adonai of hosts is the creator of day and night, causing day and night to alternate. May God govern us always to the end of time. Praised are you, Adonai, who makes evening fall. Unending is your love for your people, the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts have you taught us. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever. Day and night we reflect on them, for they are our life and the length of our days. Then your love shall never depart from our hearts. Blessed is Adonai, who loves the people of Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני Elohechem.
Let us read together on the bottom of 13. You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your being. These words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you dedicate yourselves to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God. Page 14, Emet ve'emunah. True and enduring, beloved and precious, awesome, good, and beautiful is this eternal teaching. This truth we hold to be forever certain. Adonai is our ruler, the rock of Jacob, shield of our salvation. Adonai, our God, you redeemed us from Egypt. You set us free from the house of bondage. For this, the people who felt your love sang songs of praise to you. Living God, high and exalted, mighty and awesome, who humbles the proud and raises the lowly, who frees the captive and redeems the oppressed, who is the answer to all who cry out. All praise to God Most High, the source of blessing. Like Moses and Israel, we sing this song of rejoicing.
Mi chamocha. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nerta bar kodesh, nora tehilot oseh pele, nora tehilot oseh pele. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה זהר לי אנו ואמרו זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נרתה בר קודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
On page 16, Hashkivenu. Grant that we lie down in peace, Adonai our God, and raise us up, O sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield us from hatred and plague. Keep us from war, famine, and anguish. Subdue our inclination to evil. O God, our guardian and helper, our gracious and merciful sovereign, give us refuge in the shadow of your wings. O guard our coming and our going, that always we have life and peace. We praise you, O God, whose sukkah of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise for the tefillah.
Adonai sebatai titachu piyai tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei וזוכר עושי אבות ואימהות, ומביאו לפני ידיהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ושרה. Page 19. אתה גיבור לאדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב והושיע, מפקד חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני אחת, מי כמוך דיבורו, ומדומה לך, מלך מניף ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, למען אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יחלוק הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. And we're on page 21.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
And on page 22, Adonai, our God, show favor toward your people Israel and lovingly receive our prayers. May the worship of your people Israel always be accepted, for you alone do we hold in reverence. We give thanks to you, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our lives, the shield of our salvation for all generations. We thank you and recite your praises. Let all the living affirm you and praise your name as the God of our salvation and help. Praised are you, Adonai. Goodness is your name. All praises to you. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulchana el lahodot. After we do the Shalom Rav, if you all will take a few minutes for your own silent prayers and meditations, then we will end this part of the Shabbat service.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. אתה הוא מלך הדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך הדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל בית ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
So this is the time during our service where we have a little bit of Torah. And we're going to continue this evening with our new tradition of making it a women's service by having our Devar Torah given to us by a woman that we lovingly call Tante Violet, which means grandmother. Auntie Violet. Auntie. So, Tante Violet, I turn the bima over to you.
And my deepest apologies to people within the earshot of my singing. Whoa. Bring the microphone closer to you, please, so that Yes, is that better? Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Good. Because the subject I'm going to speak on is one that is very serious and is near and dear to my heart because I am a Holocaust educator. I am vice president, or as Deborah Fripp likes to remind me, executive vice president of the Teach the Shoah Foundation, which is a nonprofit that educates the educators, the teachers, the community about the Holocaust. Now, when we say Holocaust, what do we mean? And I put this together, that the term Holocaust refers to the systematic, bureaucratic, state-sponsored persecution and murder of the Jewish people by the Nazi regime and its collaborators. Now, that is a huge subject, and I just have a short amount of time with you. So I chose 3 things to speak on about why it's important that we still teach this. I mean, how long ago was that? The war ended in 1945. That's a long time. I wasn't born yet. And here I am, a grandmother. The 3 things I chose, first of all, on a reason why it is so important that we still do, is the common ignorance today of basic facts. There is an organization, let's see, I know it's in my notes here somewhere. It's called the Claims Conference, and what they are is a Jewish material claims, it's an organization for Jewish material claims against Germany, and it was founded in 1951 by representatives of 23 major international Jewish organizations. And every so often, they will conduct a poll. 2 years ago, they did a poll, and they did it in 6 different ways in several countries, but I'm going to zero in on just the United States because that's what we're interested in. I will say this in passing, Texas did pretty good. But the overall results were not that great. Across the board, the participants of this, who were people between the ages of 18 and 40, that's all we wanted to talk to, the millennials and the Generation Z, the majority of them, and I'm talking over 65%, were not really sure about the number of people that were killed. When pressed, they said, okay, there were people that were killed of the Jews, but it was 2 million or less. They were not aware that it was 6 million. And remember, 6 million is just when we stop counting. Of that 6 million, there were 1.5 children, but we don't have all of their names. Yes. The state that did the best was, let's see, was it Massachusetts, I believe. The state that did the worst, where people had no idea about anything, was Arkansas. Texas, like I said, did pretty good. In the UK, the United Kingdom, the majority of the people were not aware of and had never heard of kinder transport. And that was the country that took in the children, took them to London, took them around, gave them the farm, protecting the children. And the millennials and the Generation Z had no idea what that was, had never heard of it. The country that did the worst, and I'll just throw this out there too, the people that were unaware of a little bit of anything, was France. I know, I was surprised too. One of the questions that was asked was, can you name one of the concentration camps or the ghettos? Now, keep in mind, there were 40,000 concentration camps and ghettos. 63%, almost 75% of people could not name even one of them. And one of the countries where they did the worst about the people having no idea the names, Austria. Now, do you get the feeling that it's kind of important that we still teach what went on, where it went on, how it was done? My next point is the fact that Jews among these groups are considered sort of a myth. We're not real. So the people that these things happen to were not real people. Nazi propaganda has done a good job, and it's still alive and well. They would talk, and when I say they, I mean the millennials and the Generation Z that these tests were done with. And the majority of them, by the way, were college educated. They put us in the realm of fairies and goblins and pretend. They're not real. And this is one reason why when I recommend books or when I talk to people, I do not go to Holocaust fiction, because I don't care how detailed they are, where they can tell you all these different facts and bits and pieces. It's still fiction. And when you start reading that and you start doing that, then hey, all of these things probably didn't really happen because it's fiction. We need to present, we need to teach. These were real people. They were men and women and children. They were your neighbor. They were your barber. They were your girlfriend at school. And these things happened. Now, a good thing about this is that when all of this was brought to their attention, that this really happened, it was over to 6 million. It was all these different things. Each one of them agreed that this needs to be taught. They want to know, and we need to be there to teach them, because what is that wonderful saying? Who's going to tell our story? We need to tell our story, because guess what? It is our story. And although there were other people who did suffer at the hand of the Nazis, it was the Jews that were the main target, and still are, because when you do a search online and all of the Nazi stuff comes up, it's still being taught. We need to counteract that. That's why we still need to teach. I thought it was very interesting that when they asked them 3 different names, we told them 3 different names, the millennials and Generation Z. Do you know A? Do you know B? Do you know C? Everybody knew Adolf Hitler, but he's a caricature. They didn't see him as a real person. They knew he was evil. He embodied evil. You know, so does Dr. Dredd in the cartoons, all right? They did not know Eli Wiesel. They knew Anne Frank, but she was a fantasy person. She wasn't real. The third, and I think the most important reason that we still today need to teach about the Holocaust. We promised. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Violet. So at this point, we usually have announcements, and our officer of the day is, oh, what's his name over there?
That's it.
That's it. The guy who is not the president.
Exactly. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Violet. So announcements. We have a CKA blood drive coming up. So it's on July 24th from noon until 4. There are still plenty of spots we need to fill. It's really important. We all know this. Please help give the gift of life and come out and join us for the blood drive. Please sign up in advance, possible. You can get, as with everything, details on the website. High Holy Day singers. What? High Holy Days are coming up? Believe it or not, the High Holy Days are coming up again, and CKA needs your voices. Yes, your voices, not my voice, but your voices for our High Holy Day choir. We are looking for new and returning members. This year will be a mix of soloists and choir pieces, so there's going to be a lot of flexibility with sing and rehearsals, etc. No experience is needed, just a willingness to volunteer your voice and time. Please email Casey if you are interested, and I'll bet you can find that on the website as well. The CKA offices will be closed the week of July 11th through the 15th and will reopen for normal operations on Monday, July 18th. The Tikkun Alum Committee meeting, woohoo, where is she? Yeah, woohoo. We'll be meeting at the shul at 6 p.m. on July 10th. You really should come out. They get a lot of magnificent work done, and I'm sure they could use some extra help. This month's cause is Flower Mound Animal Services. Start collecting your gently used towels now to help with this effort. Again, you can find all of this information on the website.
Where? On
Okay.
the website.
Okay. As is our congregation's custom, we have a list of people in need of prayers for healing. And this week, we will be praying for Joanne Barnes, Joyce Bloom, Natalie Bovino, Sandy Cook, Mark Davis, Francine Feingold, Michelle Griffith, Carol Jones, Molly Kalig, Deb Kaufman, Toby Kennedy, Clayton Kirkwood, Lauren Koenig, Alex Koenig, Gianna LaMonica, Deb Ledden, Matt Levin, Phyllis Lorelli, Paul Redwood Jr., Sandy Garber Rubin, Bruce Saari, Adrian Sandler, Myra Schusler, Dale Sieber, Alyssa Stradling, Happy Waterman, and Laura Leo Weeks. Is there anyone else you would like to have added to tonight's list?
Luis Mendez.
Wonderful. Okay. This is the part of this that I take a step back and we listen to you.
And the Mishnah Baruch is on page 40 in the prayer book.
And also on the back, yeah, of the
On
program.
the back of your Shabbat bulletin.
מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, and now as we conclude our Shabbat service, please turn to page 82 and rise if you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו פלאי הפרצות, ולא שמענו משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, לגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה הארץ, ומושבים קרוב בשמיים למען, ושכינתו זו וגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו וגסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ יתעלה אלינו.
ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. And let's read together in the middle of page 83. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the sea, and illuminate your universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. The leaves fall as from afar. They fall with slow and lingering descent. And in the night, the heavy earth too falls. From out the stars into the solitude, thus all must fall. This hand of mine must fall, and lo, the other one, it is the law. But there is one who holds the falling infinitely, softly in his hand, in her hands. We recall with love and gratitude the names of those whom we have recently lost, as well as those whose anniversary of death occurs this week. And we don't seem to have anyone who has lost someone in the last 7 days. And Shiva? Thank you. Is there anyone else? And in the last 30 days in Shloshim, the congregation continues to mourn the loss of Maria Natalie Bernard, family friend of Stephen and Jeanette Dubrow. Is there anyone else who's lost a loved one in the last 30 days? And in our congregation this week, we observe the yahrzeit of Jerry Arts, Anthony Brill, Victoria Davison, Dora Diamond, Dorothy Gadan, Ruth Lyon Kenter, Clara Klein, Ray Cram, James Ledden Jr., Betty McCall, Robert Schmidt, and Meyer Watt. Are there any other yahrzeits, anniversaries of death to be observed this week? It is our custom that we all rise to.
Yes. Very good. Fast, we'll leave this done.
They've passed the last year. Yeah. It is our custom to rise together and remember these people.
Dal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyomechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'meru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam ulal mei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, Verichu, Leila min kol birchata, Veshirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Damiram be'alma v'meru, Amen.
Yehei Shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the one who causes peace on high cause peace to descend on us and upon all Israel, and let us say, Amen. Please be seated. And our concluding song tonight will be SIA9 on page 100. That would be 100. Okay, no, that would be 99. That's not 100 yet. Okay, number 15.
El Sahinai, El Keharim, Me'ayin Abo Ezri. El Sahinai, El Keharim, Me'ayin Abo Ezri. Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Haaretz. Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Haaretz. Esainai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Esainai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri.
I lift my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Everyone, please join us for the oneg. We have gotten back to onegs. Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you, you did great.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the bar and everything ran smoothly.
It always does.
Yes, yes. Professional. Good job, kiddo.